The laughter hit Mary like a physical blow. She stood frozen in the doorway of the Silverpine Estate's grand ballroom, 7 months pregnant, barely able to breathe. 200 wolves in designer gowns and tailored suits stared at her, judged her, found her lacking. "Look at the Wolfless Omega," someone called out, waddling around like she belongs here. More laughter. Cruel. Sharp. Unforgiving. Mary's hands instinctively moved to protect her swollen belly. The baby kicked hard beneath her palms, sensing her mother's distress. Pain shot through her spine. Her legs trembled. She shouldn't have come. She should have stayed home. Consequences be damned. "Where's your alpha, Mary?" A woman in a red dress sneered. "Oh, that's right, he abandoned you." The crowd pressed closer. A circle of predators surrounding wounded prey. Mary tried to back toward the door, but her body wouldn't cooperate. Her vision blurred. Black spots danced at the edges of her sight. "This is what happens when an alpha makes a mistake." Alpha Dominic's voice boomed across the ballroom. A charity case playing dress-up. A broken Omega pretending she's worth something. The crowd roared with approval. Mary's knees buckled. She was going to collapse right here, right now, in front of everyone. Going to give them the final humiliation they'd been waiting for since she dared to marry Marcus Thornfield. But then something changed. The temperature in the ballroom dropped 10 degrees in an instant. The laughter died in their throats. Mary felt it before she saw it, a presence behind her. Ancient, powerful, furious. The chandeliers above began to sway, crystals tinkling like warning bells. Every wolf in the room suddenly went rigid, their faces draining of color as they stared at something just over Mary's shoulder. Something impossible. The baby inside her kicked once more, and Mary's blood turned to ice and fire simultaneously. What was happening? Welcome back to the channel, my dear friends. Before we dive deeper into the story, kindly click subscribe. Like this video and tell me in the comments which country you are watching from. Your support helps me bring you more thrilling stories, and trust me, you won't want to miss them. Now let's get into the story. Mary had always been the broken one. While other wolf children shifted at 13, running wild through New Jersey's Pine Barrens with gleaming fur and sharp teeth, Mary remained stubbornly human. Her wolf never came. The pack healers shook their heads. "A broken bond," they whispered. "Her wolf sleeps too deep to wake." By 18, she'd accepted it. She was Silverpine Pack's only wolfless Omega. She worked in the kitchens, kept her head down, and tried to ignore the pity and cruelty that followed her everywhere. Then Marcus Thornfield arrived, a visiting alpha from Pennsylvania. Tall, powerful, confident. Everything Mary wasn't. When he asked her to walk with him, she thought it was a joke. When he returned the next night, and the next, she began to hope. 3 months later, they were bonded. The whispers grew vicious. He must feel sorry for her. Give it a year, he'll realize his mistake. When Mary got pregnant 2 months later, the pack healers delivered grim news. The baby is too strong for her weak Omega blood. This pregnancy may kill her. 7 months in, Mary could barely walk. Her body was failing, trying to sustain a child that was half alpha, half whatever she was. That's when Marcus got called away. A territorial dispute. His pack needed him urgently. "I'll be back in 3 days," he promised. 3 days became 6. And Alpha Dominic Silverpine announced his son's wedding. Attendance? Mandatory. No exceptions. "You'll disgrace us if you don't show," Alpha Dominic told her coldly. Marcus Thornfield's mate, hiding like a coward? "You'll attend, you'll smile, and you'll prove even our weakest member has dignity." The night of the wedding, Mary forced herself into that white lace gown. Every step down the stairs to the grand ballroom sent lightning through her body. The baby pressed down so hard she could barely breathe. But she kept going. The ballroom fell silent when she entered. Then came the laughter. Look at her, waddling around like a duck. Marcus must be so embarrassed. Poor thing. Thinks she belongs here. Mary's hands went protectively to her belly. The baby kicked hard, sensing her distress. She tried to back toward the door, but her legs wouldn't cooperate. Black spots danced in her vision. A woman in red sneered, "Where's your alpha, Mary?" "Oh right, he abandoned you." The crowd pressed closer. Predators surrounding wounded prey. Alpha Dominic's voice boomed across the ballroom. "This is what happens when an alpha makes a mistake." A charity case playing dress-up. The crowd roared with approval. Mary's knees buckled. She was going to collapse right here, give them the final humiliation they'd been waiting for. But then everything changed. The temperature dropped 10 degrees in an instant. The laughter died. The chandeliers began to sway, crystals tinkling like warning bells. Mary felt it before she saw it. A presence behind her. Ancient, powerful, furious. Every wolf in the room went rigid, their faces draining of color as they stared at something just over Mary's shoulder. Heat built inside Mary's chest, spreading through her limbs like liquid fire. Something that had been sleeping for 23 years was waking up. "No," she whispered. "That's impossible." But the chandeliers were shaking violently now. The floor cracked beneath Alpha Dominic's feet. And behind Mary, a massive black wolf began to materialize. Not physical, not yet, but real enough that every wolf present could see it. Its eyes glowed like molten gold. A moon wolf, the rarest, most powerful wolf spirit in existence. They appeared once in 1,000 generations, and one had just awakened inside the weakest Omega in Silverpine Pack. The wolf's voice resonated in Mary's mind. Ancient, amused. "Finally. I thought you'd never be pushed far enough to let me out." "Who are you?" Mary whispered. "I am Larry Scott, and I've been waiting 23 years to show these fools what you truly are."
"What are you?"
"The truth you seek.
"This can't be real."
Awaken to it."
The crowd backed toward the walls. Someone dropped their champagne glass. It shattered, echoing in the terrible silence. "She's wolfless," Catherine stammered. "We all know she's wolfless." Larry Scott's projection turned its massive head toward her. "Wolfless? No, little beta. I was simply waiting for her to need me." Power erupted from Mary like a shockwave. Every window in the estate exploded outward. Chandeliers tore free and crashed to the floor. Wolves screamed and dove for cover. But Mary stood perfectly still, untouched. Larry Scott's presence was suffocating. His golden eyes swept across the ballroom, marking every wolf who'd laughed. "For 23 years, you've dismissed her, mocked her, treated her as less than nothing. And now you beg for mercy because you've discovered she has power?" Alpha Dominic tried to assert his authority. "I am the alpha of this pack." The floor beneath his feet cracked. "You are nothing," Larry Scott said simply. "An alpha by birth, not by merit." One by one, the wolves dropped to their knees. Not forced. Something deeper. Larry Scott was making them feel what Mary had endured for 23 years. The isolation, the constant judgment, the loneliness. They began to weep. "I'm sorry," someone gasped. "I never thought about how it felt. To be invisible." Catherine collapsed, mascara running down her face. "Make it stop. Please, Mary." Mary could have. She felt the power flowing through her. One word and their suffering would end. But she didn't. Not yet. "You called me damaged goods," Mary said quietly. "Said my husband was relieved to be away from me." "I was jealous," Catherine sobbed. "You have an alpha who chose you because he loves you. I've been engaged 3 times, and every one only wanted my bloodline." Then the ballroom doors burst open. Marcus Thornfield stood there, and Mary's heart clenched. He looked exhausted, but he was here. He crossed the room and dropped to his knees beside her. "I'm sorry. God, Mary, I'm so sorry. I should have been there." But before they could talk, the television in the corner flickered to life. A news anchor's grave face filled the screen. "Breaking news out of New Jersey. Reports of a violent incident at a private gathering in the Pine Barrens. Witnesses described supernatural phenomena. The image changed to show the Silverpine estate surrounded by police cars. And standing in front of cameras was Alpha Dominic. This was an unprovoked attack by a dangerous individual, he said. Someone with no control who poses a threat to everyone. Mary's blood ran cold. He'd gone to human authorities. Broken the most sacred rule of werewolf society. Humans weren't supposed to know about their world. Alpha Dominic had just violated centuries of tradition to destroy her. Mary discharged herself from the hospital against doctors' orders. The baby was fine. She was fine. But the world was about to change. They drove back to the estate to find someone new waiting. A woman who looked 40 but felt ancient. Silver-streaked dark hair. Eyes that contained universes. Lucia, someone breathed. Lucia the Eternal. The legendary moon wolf carrier. She was supposed to be dead, disappeared into myth centuries ago. But she was very much alive. Lucia placed her palm on Mary's belly, and the baby kicked. Strong. She'll be the first of a new generation. Born of Omega and Alpha equally. She'll bridge the gap that's divided your kind for too long. Then 3 more vehicles arrived. The Council. The oldest, most powerful alphas in North America. They governed all packs and enforced ancient laws. The lead counselor's voice was ice. Where is Alpha Dominic Silverpine? They found him in his study, surrounded by loyal pack members. When he saw the council, his face went white. You contacted human authorities, the counselor said flatly. You exposed our kind. You violated the first law. She's dangerous. Dominic pointed at Mary. She has a moon wolf. The only one who destroyed anything here is you. The counselor's voice was final. I'm stripping you of your alpha status. You're exiled. Your son Kieran will lead immediately. Larry Scott manifested again, filling the study. Anyone who wishes to challenge this decision is welcome to try. No one moved. The counselor turned to Mary. What do you want, Moon Wolf Carrier? Mary looked around at the wolves who'd made her life miserable. At Alpha Dominic, consumed by hatred. At all of them. I want to leave, she said quietly. By choice. I want to go to Ironwood Pack with my mate and raise my daughter somewhere she'll be valued. Granted. And should you ever need assistance, the council will provide it. But there was one more thing. I want an apology. From everyone who mocked me. Not because I have power now, but because it was always wrong. One by one, they apologized. Some sincere. Others motivated by fear. But Mary accepted them all. Then she turned to Marcus. Take me home. The drive to Pennsylvania took 4 hours. When they arrived, Marcus led her to a beautiful log cabin nestled in the mountains. Lights glowed warmly in the windows. Our home, he said. I had it built for you. Inside was everything she'd never dared dream of. Warm floors, comfortable furniture, and in the corner, a nursery painted in soft colors waiting. It's perfect, Mary breathed. You're perfect, Marcus corrected. You were never broken, Mary. You were just waiting for the right moment to show the world who you really are. 3 months later, Mary gave birth to a healthy baby girl with storm gray eyes and a fierce spirit. They named her Hope, because that's what she represented. Hope for a better future. Hope that Omega and Alpha could be equal. And when Hope took her first breath and let out a cry that echoed through the pack house, every wolf felt it. Felt the world changing. Mary sat in the rocking chair by the window with Hope in her arms, Marcus dozing nearby, and Larry Scott humming contentedly in her mind. Are you happy? The moon wolf asked. Mary looked at her daughter, at the home full of love, at the life she'd built from the ashes of humiliation. Yes, she whispered. I'm happy. Outside, a full moon rose over the Pennsylvania mountains. And Mary Richards Thornfield, former charity case, Wolfless Omega, Moon Wolf Carrier, and Mother, rocked her daughter, and planned for a future that would be better than the past. Not perfect. Nothing ever was. But better. And that was enough. If Mary's transformation from Wolfless Omega to Moon Wolf Carrier moved you, subscribe to see more stories of underdogs rising to power. Like this video if you believe everyone deserves respect regardless of their strength. Share your thoughts below. Would you forgive the Silverpine Pack? And tap the video on your screen to discover what happens when Hope grows up and inherits her mother's legendary Moon Wolf legacy.